Great careers. I mean, you guys really go full force into it and enjoy it thoroughly. Before you did all this, what were day jobs? What were anything odd jobs that you have done before?
Before I got the Peter Griffin gig, I was just working, at a credit union for a while, and that's actually how the Peter Griffin thing was born in a roundabout way. There was a few people that I used to work at that credit union with that formed this like geek blog that we were writing articles for. And we ended up getting passes for New York Comic Con for that year. So this way we'd have stuff to like report on and write about for the blog. There were a lot of people involved in it, so there were a lot of clashing personalities. And long story short, before New York Comic Con, the blog had folded. And we had all these tickets, but we had nothing, to go in for. So we decided to just have fun with it. We were like, oh, let's go as a group for the friends that stayed together. And we ended up dressing like Marvel superheroes. My buddy was the Punisher, his girlfriend was Black Widow. One friend didn't want to dress up, so he copped out and said he was Peter Parker. And then I, happened to be the extra person in the party, dressed like Western Ghost Rider, and ended up getting heat stroke at the show. And
if you can't handle the heat of a wig.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Big surprise.
It was a mask that was so tight, it was pushing my eyelashes into my eyes. So I had to wear these little glasses that looked like Elton John glasses, just to keep it out of my eyes. I had a wig on top of that, a cowboy hat on top of that. I had an undershirt, button-down shirt, neckerchief, rawhide duster, full black jeans, black steel-toe boots, and the only part of my skin that was exposed were my fingertips, because I had like the workout gloves with the fingerless gloves, and I was like roasting in that thing. Like I didn't know if I was gonna make it to Comic-Con the next day. And that goes back to taking that chance. I was like, I love taking pictures of people that day. It was a very new experience for me, being popular and people wanting to be around me. So I decided, let's try this again, but with something a little more feasible. And I had round glasses from when I used to dress like Santa Claus for the credit union that I worked at. So that was part of that costume. I had green pants for like the St. Patrick's Day, celebrations. And everybody has a white button-down shirt, so I threw the three things together. And I was actually self-conscious going to New York Comic Con. I didn't think people were gonna know who I was. So on the pass, I actually took a piece of masking tape and I wrote Peter Griffin on it. I was like, great, they're gonna think I'm a fat John Lennon. But I started doing the show, the voice of the show. I remember the specific moment that Peter Griffin was born, or real life Peter Griffin anyway. There was a ATM in the Artist Alley part of New York Comic Con, and I was spending money hand over fist on like action figures and statues. It was terrible. And something in my mind just clicked. And when the money came out of the ATM, I was like, oh my God, I won! And everybody within earshot just turned around in unison like, holy shit, that's Peter Griffin. And then from like that moment on, people were just following me and taking videos. And it was one of the videos that somebody had taken of me that day that ended up on Reddit, and why I keep doing this.
Nice, so that was one of your big highlights.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's like kind of like a crazy story how I was just going to Comic-Con with a bunch of people I used to work with and, had fun. And it turned into like, you never know. And that's why I always tell people, if you're willing to take the risk, then your life can change. And you never know how it can.
How about you, Lois? Odd jobs or...
So what did I do before this? My regular normal job?
Yes.
So like I said, I grew up poor. So I did the way to get honor in this country. I joined the military. I was a 42 Alpha Human Resource Specialist with Civil Affairs and Psychological Operations. I left as a sergeant. I realized quickly that the Army did not appreciate comedians. Yeah, I think I still owe them some push-ups, but one day I got out. I had been previously married. Sorry, Peter.
I was better though.
And when those two things came to an end, I actually just sat and asked myself, what does Mandy want? And that's something I actually didn't ask myself. And the first thought that came to my head was live from New York. It's Saturday night, and I sold my motorcycle and I moved to New York. So yeah, I was always a worker, worked at the post office. I worked in hospitality a lot because I'm really good at that. And then the military, and then I just started pursuing my nightmare of a dream in New York City. So, and it's been 13 years since I've been doing that.
And that's amazing, especially to keep it going and pushing, and especially I'm sure there was heartaches and downfalls.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like, but I'm doing this out of spite at this point. I'm gonna succeed, and I'm gonna make them all eat my joy. I mean, sorry, what was this question?
Yeah. Does anybody else in the audience feel like asking another question? Let's do it.